Welcome to Slippery Rock News at 6. I'm Doug Drew.
And I'm Megan Guerreri. A family is mourning the loss of a second daughter struck by an allegedly drunk driver who had an Alcoholics Anonymous leaflet in his back seat. 17-year-old Janisha Goheen died on Monday, 11 days after her identical twin, Janaea, was killed in a crash in Oak Hill, Washington, as she was driving with a friend to visit a haunted house. This is the third tragedy for the family, who lost their other daughter, Jessica Goheen Thorne, back in May 2008 in a car wreck. Janisha had been driving their 1993 Acura on Halloween when it was hit head-on by a Ford Mustang and was rushed to hospital in serious condition.
A 16-year-old boy from Alabama has been charged as an adult following the brutal stabbing of his mother and attempted murder of his father, Travis Montgomery. Travis Montgomery attacked his parents, their Haleyville mobile home, on Sunday night, one day before he was due to start an anger management program. Montgomery's mother, Renee Montgomery, age 46, was pronounced dead from her wounds at the scene. The teen's father, 49-year-old Wade Montgomery, was airlifted to University of Alabama Birmingham Hospital, where he is listed in stable condition. Toronto Mayor Rob Ford has now publicly apologized for his recent scandal involving crack cocaine by saying he is sorry for doing a lot of stupid things. A video may surface from a former drug investigation that has footage of the incoherent mayor high on crack cocaine. The video will be released without Ford even previewing it. He does not plan on resigning from his position. Monday marked the celebration of Veterans Day throughout the United States. Many cities held parades in honor of those who served in the armed forces and who are currently in uniform. This day has been set aside to commemorate the end of World War I in 1918. As is tradition, President Obama visited Arlington National Cemetery to lay a wreath on the Tomb of the Unknowns as a tribute to our military.
On November 8th, the Philippines was hit by a typhoon, Haiyan. This typhoon was one of the worst storms the people of the Philippines have ever seen and was the deadliest natural disasters of our time. An estimated 10,000 people were killed. Most of the deaths were from drowning and collapsing buildings. President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama expressed their concern and promised to provide significant humanitarian assistance to all the residents of the Philippines. The typhoon made landfall Monday in Vietnam but has since been reduced to a tropical storm. The typhoon has left people in desperate need for food, water, and medicine, which is trickling into the city that was the worst blown from the typhoon. Fortunately, aid is coming. Pallets of supplies and teams of doctors are waiting to get in Tacloban, but the challenges of delivering the assistance means few in the stricken city have received help. Families in a central neighborhood of the Syrian capital wept quietly Tuesday as they retrieved the bodies of the 4 children and their bus driver killed in a mortar attack on their school in a predominantly Christian area a day earlier. The strike was the latest rebel reprisal to hit Damascus as government troops press ahead with a crushing weeks-long advance into opposition-held suburbs.
Swedish industrial designer Merdad Majubi has developed a water recycling shower system based around the way astronauts recycle the same water over long periods in orbit. The OrbSys shower system is a new high-tech purification system that will recycle water while you wash. This system will save 90% water usage and around 80% energy usage. If OrbSys were to get deployed on a bigger scale, it could be used in water taps and drinking fountains in developing countries. No one imagines having a heart attack or a stroke, but it is something that happens on a daily basis. Now guidelines for taking cholesterol-lowering medication have been issued by the American Heart Association and the American College of Cardiology that can lower the risk for heart attacks and strokes. These institutions have a new formula for estimating a person's risk for heart attacks and strokes based on many factors other than a person's cholesterol number. Dr. Neil Stone said that the emphasis of these guidelines is to treat patients more appropriately. These guidelines call for 1/3 of all adults to consider taking cholesterol-lowering drugs, more than twice the number taking them currently. And now to Cody for entertainment after this break.
Welcome back to SRU News. I'm Cody Gray. The popular travel channel show Bizarre Foods aired their Pittsburgh episode this week. The episode included a trip to the Strip District to visit Primanti's and Holy's. The episode also included some catfishing in the river. For someone who has seen many cities and experienced so many different types of food, Zimmern maintained his enthusiasm. Andrew Zimmern tweeted about the city saying, "Pittsburgh is an amazing city. It's on the rise. You should go see it for yourself." Yesterday was TLC Takeover on Family Feud. The cast of The Cake Boss took on the cast of Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. In the end, the Cake Boss family made it to the Fast Money round and took home $20,000 for their charity. The Honey Boo Boo family did not do so bad themselves, taking home $10,000 for their charity as a consolation prize. The episode was filled with several fun-filled moments and laughs as the families battled it out to get the top answers. MTV and Major League Baseball are working on a weekly 30-episode series that brings together pop culture and baseball. David Ortiz and Pittsburgh Pirates All-Star outfielder Andrew McCutchen are both executive producers of the series. The series is set to begin next spring around the start of the new season. The series does not have a name yet and will likely air on MTV2. NBC announced Friday it has signed a deal with Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic to televise the company's first commercial space flight. Branson and his 2 children will be the first private passengers to travel into space next year through his private company. The launch will be a part of a 3-hour special on The Today Show. Virgin Galactic Spaceship Two will leave from the company's terminal in New Mexico. Kim Kardashian was pulled over in Los Angeles today and it caused a total mess. A police officer said Kim was pulled over for speeding as she was trying to evade photographers. When Kim was pulled over, the photographers also pulled over and were in the middle of the freeway taking pictures. Police are not happy with the photographers as they endangered lives with their carelessness. Police are further investigating whether or not they can pursue charges on the photographers. As for Kim, she was only cited for speeding. Although Justin Timberlake is almost always praised for his singing and performing abilities, the same definitely can't be said about his acting ability. In a cover interview for GQ's annual Men of the Year issue, Justin gets saucy when addressing the common critique that he should stop making movies. After his film Runner Runner was a box office disappointment, Justin tells GQ, "The movie didn't do well at the box office, so I should quit. Hold on a second, if I was somebody else, you wouldn't have said that. I have the #1 album this week and I shouldn't have released it. Come on, man." Miley Cyrus is again in the news and for all the wrong reasons. At the MTV Music Awards in Amsterdam on Sunday, Cyrus won Video of the Year for her hit song Wrecking Ball. When she took to the stage to accept the award, she took out a baby joint out of her purse, lit it, and took a puff. Cyrus took full advantage as marijuana is legal in Amsterdam. If you miss it on Sunday, the American video will not have it on there as they have edited out of any re-airings. In 1976, world-class athlete Bruce Jenner made history when he won the gold medal in the decathlon in the Summer Olympics in Montreal. 37 years later, Jenner was able to bask in the glory once again when he was given the 2013 Legendary Athletes Award during the closing ceremony of all the sports films in Los Angeles. The honor was presented to Bruce by his wife, Kris Jenner, even though the two are separated. Kris was accompanied by their daughter Kendall Jenner. Despite the separation, the two still remain close. "Kris and I get along great," Bruce said in an interview. Once again, congrats to Bruce Jenner on his achievement. That is all for entertainment. When we come back, Rachel will tell us what's going on in sports.
The Lakers announced Monday that NBA player Steve Nash will be out of the lineup for at least 2 weeks with nerve root irritation. Nash played only 13 minutes in the Lakers' loss to Minnesota on Sunday night before sitting out with pain in his back and hamstrings. Nash is expected to receive an epidural block on Tuesday and will be evaluated in 10 days. Nash is the NBA's oldest player at 39. Despite sitting out 2 games already this season, Nash is averaging 6.7 points and 4.8 assists. Nash said after Sunday's game, "It's hard. I really want to play, and I really want to play the way I'm accustomed to playing." The Houston Texans have released safety Ed Reed Tuesday after Reed criticized the Texans coaching staff. The 35-year-old and 9-time Pro Bowler was the highlight of the Texans' offseason accusations. But after the Houston's loss to the Arizona Cardinals, Reed was released following comments about the team being outplayed and outcoached. Many speculate that this could be the end of the career of one of the best safeties in the NFL history. The release of Reed also comes after the Texans announced they have placed running back Arian Foster on season-ending injury reserve. Former Rutgers University head basketball coach Mike Rice is coaching again. He is running after-school clinics for 3rd to 6th graders in a basketball facility in Neptune, New Jersey. He is also coaching his son's high school team in a fall recreational league. Considering where Rice was a year ago, preparing for his third season as head coach at Rutgers and earning a salary of $700,000, it is quite a step down. Rice was fired 7 months ago for mistreating players, so it is hard to believe he is coaching again. Rice said, "Now I have to sit back and take it. Listen to people say I was abusing my players. I was not an idiot, but I never abused anybody." Fred Shero has been inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. He died in 1990 at the age of 65, and he is known primarily as the coach of the Philadelphia Flyers' Broad Street Bullies. They won the team's only championships in 74 and 75. Shero would leave quotes on the locker room such as "Win today and we walk together forever," which he wrote before Game 6 of the 74 Stanley Cup Final. He went to Russia to integrate European tactics into the NHL. He didn't just think outside the box. He could draw you a triangle and convince you it was the new box. Steven Stamkos, center for the Tampa Bay Lightning, suffered a broken leg Monday against the Boston Bruins. Stamkos crashed into the post in the second period after getting tied up with Boston defenseman Dougie Hamilton. Stamkos' left skate appears to hit the post and dislodge the net before his right leg hits around the shin. He tried to get up twice before going down. He was to be a key player for the Team Canada at the Sochi Olympics. He was tied for the league's lead in scoring. He is scheduled to have surgery today in Boston. The former cyclist and multiple-time winner of the Tour de France, Lance Armstrong, promises 100% transparency and honesty in future doping tests. After admitting to taking performance-enhancing drugs during his career at the Oprah Winfrey Show last January, Armstrong asked to be treated fairly from now on. He states that some cyclists in the past who were involved in the use of doping had no restrictions, and others received a so-called death penalty. Armstrong claims that paying a high price for his past mistakes, but also wants more consistency in terms of investigating other doping use-related cases. The peak of the Association of Tennis Professionally World Tour will be tonight, when the world's two leading tennis players, Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic, met in the final game. It would be the first win of ATP World Tour Finals for the Nadal, even though he has won all 4 Grand Slams, Olympic gold, and the Davis Cup. However, his opponent and the winner of the second semifinal, Novak Djokovic, hasn't lost a single match since the U.S. Open final. Both players are very confident and promise an aggressive game since they are the main rivals to each other and meet on the tennis court for the 39th time. Kansas City wide receiver Dwayne Bowe was arrested earlier Sunday by police in Riverside, Missouri for possession of marijuana and speeding. The news comes after the AFC West leading Chiefs bye week as they prepare to play division rivals the Denver Broncos Sunday night. Bowe is second on the Chiefs with 33 receptions and third with 369 receiving yards. Police said they pulled Bowe over shortly before midnight. They detected a strong odor of marijuana and upon searching the vehicle, discovered more than 10 grams of marijuana inside the vehicle. Bowe was suspended for 4 games in 2009 for violating the NFL's policy on performance-enhancing drugs. Now let's go over to Greg with the weather as he tells us about the snow that we received in the past 24 hours. Is there more on the way?
Thank you, Rachel. As you see, we have the national forecast right now, and up in the northeast, we have a lot of cold weather coming in the 30s. Now in the northwest, we have the weather in the 50s and 60s. And down in the south, we have weather from the 90s in Arizona out to the 80s in Florida. Now we have a radar coming in. As you see, we have a little bit of snow coming into the front in Youngstown and Meadville. And and we have a big cloud in Butler coming through. And now you have the local weather here. You can see 30s across the board out into Mansfield and a low of 29 out up in Meadville and 26 down in Johnstown. Now for the current weather today, we have a temperature of 31 with a dew point of 24, a humidity of 75%, and the wind is at a west-northwest going at 10 miles an hour. And now you have the 7-day forecast. For the rest of the week, it looks like it's going to stay below 50 with a little bit of sun. And as we creep into next week, we're going to have weather reaching into the 50s with scattered showers on Sunday night and a chance of snow on Tuesday. Now we'll go to Adam, who's playing in the first snow of the year.
This is Adam Thomas outside of the parking lot of the North Hall where we had our first significant snowfall of the year. If you want to take a look over here, we reached about an inch of snowfall today. You see all the snow coming off the car, and we decided to ask what Slippery Rock students think about the upcoming winter and how much snow we'll be receiving this year. We're here with Allison Sherman, an exercise science major, and I'm going to ask her about what she thought about the first snowfall of the year and what she expects for the rest of the winter.
Well, I think we're going to get a lot more snow because we didn't really have a very warm summer, so there's going to be a lot more snow to come this year, and we better be prepared.
So I'm here with TJ Anderson. TJ, what do you think about the first snowfall of the year, and what do you expect this upcoming winter?
First snow of the year, it's pretty awesome. I'm real excited about the snow. I don't really know what to expect out of this year. 2012, it was kind of a long drawn out year as far as snow is concerned, but 2011 it was a hot year, so we'll see what this year brings. I hope it's a bad winter though.
I'm here with Justine and Kristen. And Justine and Kristen, what do you think about the first snowfall of the year, and what do you expect for this upcoming winter?
I was really excited for the snow because I love the snow, and I'm hoping that it'll actually be a good winter so I can snowboard and stuff. But
I love the snow. Yeah, I'm hoping for the same thing.
As you can see, many students are excited about the upcoming snowfall of 2013 into 2014. For WSRU News, I'm Adam Thomas.
After the terrible events of 9/11, New Yorkers are fighting back to restore their skyline and their pride with the completion of the World Trade Center Tower, on schedule to be completed by next year. The building is set to become the tallest building in the United States at 1,776 feet, overtaking the Willis Tower in Chicago. The architects wanted to capture the spirit of America in this building and do so with its symbolic height, the same year our country was founded. The World Trade Center Tower will stand as a monument to the people who died there on that fateful day.
Thanks for watching. I'm Doug Drew.
And I'm Megan Guerreri. Have a great evening.